with a fresh shot of espresso. Bold, rich, pulled just right. Then comes the milk, steamed smooth, creamy, and balanced. The perfect latte is not rushed. It is crafted, one cup at a time. Your perfect latte is ready. Coffee first, then everything else.
Good afternoon and welcome to Beyond the Headlines. I'm DJ Moises and today's conversation is brought to us by Coffee First. Today we go beyond the arrival numbers and look at what is really happening on the ground. From hotel occupancy to tourist spending to air connectivity, infrastructure, workforce, and the future of Cebu as a tourism destination. Let's look deeper and think better. Joining us is Mia Singson-Leon, President of the Hotels and Resorts Association of Cebu. So, hi Mia, welcome to Beyond the
Hi,
Headlines.
DJ. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for making time for this, even if it's a holiday.
Yes, of course.
Sige, so let's start with this pageant-ish question.
Sure.
If you are to describe the current state of tourism in Cebu in just one word, what would that be?
It would still have to be resilient,
Okay.
DJ. Resilient because no, we saw really good numbers. We saw good arrivals during the first half, and then we got shocked with the fuel crisis and the Middle East war. But even with that, we were able to somehow cushion the blow so that we're still here, we're still standing, we're still selling our rooms and our experiences, and we're still looking forward to better days ahead.
And speaking of better numbers, so this is the better time also for you to clarify, certain reports that have been released by different sources, because one report actually would say that international arrivals to Cebu increased by 6% in the first quarter. Then another report also issued this time, overall tourist arrival in Cebu dropped by 10% on the first half. So which number should we be seeing or paying more attention?
Yes, for sure. A lot of people did ask me that, and even people from the industry were getting confused. But that's the or that's the tourism industry. You cannot read one number and the other number and just blend it together. So the first number where it says there was an increase in arrivals, of course, that was for quarter one, where we had the long haul market, the international tourists slightly recovered from previous years. We had a lot of new international flights coming in. Then you had the ASEAN in January and then the ASEAN in May as well. We had a lot of, it was a beautiful time. And for the first time in a long time, we saw different nationalities in the lobby: Japanese, Koreans, Australians, Indians, Chinese, the whole smorgasbord, and it was nice. And then the second number is really more towards after the crisis, the fuel crisis, where that is mostly comprised of domestic travel, which is more sensitive to the airfare volatility. So Cebu is really still a domestic driven destination. So of course, when that drops, you really feel it. The whole island feels it. So when the airport reports that there's a drop in domestic arrivals, especially maybe around April, May, then everyone knows that everyone feels the pressure of the occupancy.
So now it dawned on me because the first number was quarter one, and then the second number is the
Quarter
first
two.
half.
Yes.
So that means the struggle was in quarter two, no?
Yes. That when the fuel crisis hit, we saw a lot less corporate travel. We saw a lot less MICE events. A lot were canceled, especially and even FIT, domestic FITs, people coming from Manila or elsewhere in the country, as the price to come to Cebu doubled or tripled.
Eh,
Yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
And then the other piece also, which I hope you can educate me and some of our viewers who are not well aware, because I often hear that while the arrivals in Cebu and the Philippines in general, in terms of volume, it's lower compared to other countries. But in terms of spending, the quality of tourists that we have in Cebu and the Philippines tend to spend more. Is that true or false?
Yes and no.
Okay,
Again, I
sige.
cannot give you a straight answer because markets are different. In general, I think our average rate in the island has been maintained over the years. In fact, it has increased significantly since prior to the pandemic, but that's because our costs have also gone up. So we have to still protect our margins somehow. But since volume is down, occupancy is nowhere near 2019, 2018 levels. So in the end, the spend per room, although average rate is high, the spend per room becomes, per available room becomes less. And it's also depends on different markets. If you go to mid-scale, to economy hotels, people tend to skip out on spa services, on other ancillary benefits, but or sorry, facilities. But for high for 5-star resorts, the luxury market, they still are. They're not very sensitive to the increase of the volatility in our prices. So they are still spending there. Plus additional, since there's a lot of additional hotel rooms, and also products being served here in Cebu. So of course the spend will also increase. So in short, yes, it looks like it increased because we have been able to maintain our average rates over the years, even with all the issues that we've had. But because of occupancy drop, then if you look at a number that says revenue per available room, it has dropped.
Oh, okay. So,
It's just not, hospitality can't be measured in just one number. There's so many, and you have to see the whole picture.
yeah, because there was a time in which I was led to believe, and now I get the chance to confirm it with you, that the Philippines or Cebu as a market is not really quantity as of this time, but
Yes.
quality of tourists.
Yes.
Because we tend to attract the higher end, no? Not necessarily the backpackers. Although there are certain destinations in the Philippines that are also catering to backpackers, but in general, the profile of tourists
Especially here in Cebu.
are not the backpackers,
Yes.
no? But the higher spending ones.
Correct. Because we have Mactan that has a lot of the luxury properties, and then the corporate and the MICE-driven properties in the city. So there's really not much space. It's not much space, but backpackers don't find it.
Yeah, because even our resorts tend to be 5 stars.
On the
no?
higher end,
On
yes.
the higher end.
But we do see them in the city on certain seasons of the year, and they also love going to the province for adventure tours,
Oh, yeah.
and that's a very welcome sight.
So when the whole country or the whole world experience the effects now of the Middle East tension, how are the hotels also in general, or the resorts in general in Cebu, no, are also managing the stress?
Yes, it is. We are really feeling the pressure on our costs. Fuel, utilities, and our food costs. So that is where we are feeling the crunch. So, and we cannot increase prices that aligns with our cost of our increase in cost, because Cebu is very sensitive to price increases. You know, as you mentioned, everyone is already saying that Cebu is quite expensive as compared to other destinations. But we always say that because we offer the value, we offer value with with your booking. But since, yes, that's the fact, we can't really just increase prices as so that we protect margins. So that's why we absorb the costs. I know we cannot absorb it for long, but we will see what happens.
And with respect to sa Malaysia, international market, correct me if I'm wrong also, but I'm just judging this by virtue of observation.
Yes.
There was a time in which much of the tourist international arrivals are from countries like China and Korea. Are you seeing also emerging international markets that are also exploring Cebu more
Cebu?
and more?
Well, for us now, I'm sure you've heard that Korean arrivals have dropped.
Yeah.
But although they have dropped, they are still our number one market. And from time to time, we see increases in their arrivals depending on the flight availability. So we still have them. We still have the Japanese market, which is always very stable. For China, it's starting to grow back, but
Okay.
we lost them during the pandemic because there's a lot less flights coming in directly from China. But that's something we are working on, especially with visa-free arrival into Cebu, and only Cebu and Manila. For other markets, of course, we have visa-free entry for Indian market, but we don't have direct flights yet. So that's something that our colleagues in the airport and other airlines are working on as well. We also have an increase in Australians and the US market as well as the European market. For it varies across the industry. So you have ESL, which brings in a few other markets that you normally don't see for leisure or corporate as well. So it's a good mix. We are not putting our eggs in one or two baskets, but we just really need to focus on the ones that we have the potential to bring in the numbers and move the needle for our arrivals.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong again, but I've read in one of the reports that for as far as the Philippines is concerned, in terms of international market, Cebu is number one, no?
For international,
Travelers.
I think it would still be Manila.
It's still Manila.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you have the connectivity there.
Yeah. So, yes, by that answer alone, yes, I'm convinced that
Yes.
I read the wrong report. Though the other one, I hope I read the correct report. But for domestic tourists, Cebu is second to Calabarzon.
Yes.
So, what's with Cebu man that makes it attractive? Because at least it's second. And how can we also leverage more on the domestic market, or is that even a direction we want to focus?
Of course, the domestic we've always turned to the domestic. We have depended on the domestic market for the longest time. If I remember, I think the figure is 60% domestic, 40% international for Cebu. It is because, again, of connectivity. We have a lot of domestic flights coming into Cebu, and I hope that continues to increase, coming from destinations that will be able to bring us more tourists or corporate bookings as well. And then, of course, it's a beach. It's a summer, all year round summer destination. We have a lot of things to offer. We have the beach. We have MICE venues. We have highlands. We are able to deliver a lot of products for our tourists as well as corporate bookings. That's why not? Shouldn't we be number one?
Correct. Now, the other piece also, and maybe you may or may not have the number, but your observation is also acceptable.
Okay.
What about because this is one area that's not commonly reported because diba, we get to see the arrivals, we get to see the hotel occupancy, but not many information, at least for the general public where I'm part of, about the length of stay. So yeah, so how long, or at least from your observation, how long does an international tourist generally stay, in locations like Cebu?
Okay. If we generalize all stays, the average is 2 to 3. For international, it also depends. So you have long haul tourists. They tend to stay a bit longer.
Or forever, no?
Yes, because Cebu is actually known for how do I say, the silver guests, those that want to retire here.
Ah,
So
okay.
Cebu, the Visayas, I think, is very popular for that. Cebu in particular, because we have a lot of real estate that they go to. So yes, on average, it's 2 to 3.
So, in terms of, because you've mentioned no, nga, the tourism should be looked at uh, according to different numbers, no?
Yes.
So, what would you suggest, no? Kanang how tourism in the Philippines or Cebu should be measured? So that at least kami sa public, we get to be choosy na pud about, okay, I can let this number go, or, oh, this one I should be paying more attention.
Okay. I think you should still look at occupancy rates as well as arrival rates and try to make sense of the numbers together. I don't think you should specifically look at one or two particular numbers, because it depends on what you want to know. Occupancy rates will tell you the volume of the volume that's coming into Cebu, and when there's volume, then there's heavy numbers there. But yes, you should also look at the average rates and the number of hotel rooms being opened or being made available. The more hotel rooms that a destination has, that the better chances of it being able to attract large MICE events or a large market, and of course the price will be there's more competition, so the better for tourists.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I just
Oh,
remembered
you've been putting me on the spot for quite a while.
because there was, but you're the expert, no?
No, not really.
There are kind of comments that I would hear, at least within my circle, and they're not from the industry, but they also claim that they know the industry, and I keep on overhearing them saying that if only the Philippines will have more rooms, then tourists would come. And I overheard somebody who was also in the industry actually said, actually,
There's
it's
a lot of
chicken
rooms.
and
Yes,
egg, no?
yes.
We have issues with our occupancy, and then you're telling us to build more rooms? What do you
Yes,
mean?
yes.
You've heard about that?
Yes, for sure.
Ah.
Even I have the same sentiments from
Ah.
time to time, and I keep saying, "Oh, why are there more rooms building when our occupancy is struggling right now?" But then I also understand that the more rooms a destination has, they will come, as they say.
Yeah.
But I think it has to go together with the connectivity. If you have a lot of flights coming into the city, then your rooms will fill up. It cannot be just rooms increasing, or it cannot even just be more flights coming in, because where will they stay? So
Correct.
it has to go both ways.
That's a good point. Sige, now let's talk about mice.
Yes.
No? Okay, that's one of the more exciting and dynamic parts of tourism, no? Priorities in the Philippines and even in Cebu. So tell us
Yes.
more about it.
Well, MICE it's something that everyone is excited about, as you say, because for the longest time Cebu had no MICE venues, and now with 3 large venues, we are happy to say we are able to compete and we are able to make our bids for large international MICE events. Now, why is MICE important? Because MICE has a bevy of economic linkages. When there are large MICE events, it's not only the hotels or even the venues that prosper. You have tourists, you have transportation services, you have tour operators and the tour guides, you have retail, you have restaurants, local restaurants, and even the suppliers that provide services or products to these restaurants and hotels. Then 1,000 other MSMEs. So if there are if MICE is strong in a certain destination, everyone enjoys it, everyone prospers. But on the other side, of course, I think we discussed this during the summit, when MICE becomes too prosperous, sometimes we need to put in place rules to make sure we protect the destination from usage or over carrying of arrivals. So that's something that we are preparing for, and we will cross the bridge when we get there. But for now, the excitement really is being able to bring them and get them to come to Cebu.
And in the same summit that you mentioned, and you were one of the speakers,
Yes.
it was also kind of suggested to add S, no? In the mice. Where are we? And by the way, S is sports. Where are we with that? At least, no? But it's just few months after.
Yes.
But just
Well,
excited. Okay.
there are a lot of sports events coming up in 2027 and 2028. We just recently concluded the Ironman in Mactan, but that has been with us for many years now. And that's and then here in Cebu, there's so many marathon enthusiasts. So we have a lot of marathons here in Cebu that attract international tourists as well. For next year, there will be there are volleyball tournaments. Then you have the ASEAN Beach Games coming up in 2028. There's so many, and the opportunities are still there. People are still fighting to make their bids, so we can really include, or at least in our minds, the S in mice.
And this one also is more like the excitement, and now the curiosity, not the question, the curiosity in the part of the public about the ASEAN Tourism Forum. No? Okay, at
In
ASEAN
January.
in January. So obviously that also helped in terms of improving the tourism arrivals, no, because of the number of guests that we had. But can you also tell us more about what are the effects na, no, that you are seeing? I know it's also just few months after that forum.
After the January and especially the May activities of the ASEAN, people started to hear or know about Cebu again. So we made noise, and after those activities, we've had a lot of inquiries for larger MICE events as well. Because of course they know, and many of them have seen, because those that came over were all from the tourism industry. So there's more and more interest to come here and hold their large MICE events here, whether corporate or government events. So that is the positive side of it. Unfortunately, with the shock of the fuel crisis, that has died down a little bit, but we are all very optimistic that they will be coming for next year. Many of my hotel friends have already said, "Oh, we are looking good for next year. We have big groups coming in." Although yes, the price is still very sensitive, given that it is still very costly. We don't see the prices dropping down too much in 2027 for airfare. So we are still we still feel the pressure of our ADR. But no, it doesn't look too bad. Perhaps a flat growth
At least.
But with all the activities, all the initiatives we're doing, can only go up. But then again, there are a lot of things we still cannot control. Over the years, with all the problems that we have year after year, I think especially here in Cebu, we've learned how to deal with the punches. And we've learned that, okay, this will die down. We just need to do this, this, and this, and hope for the best.
So now let's talk about the food part of tourism, or is that food tourism?
Food dining?
Yes,
Dining
as a
dining
destination.
tourism.
Because again, I'm untrained, but Thailand is also known for food, no?
Yes.
And I think I've also heard a lot of people going to Taiwan because also of the food, and even to a certain extent, even Singapore or even KL. No? So can you also comment about sige Cebu na lang,
Okay.
as a food destination?
Well, I think Cebu or Philippine cuisine has really improved in popularity over the years, with starting with the Michelin
Yes.
restaurants abroad that offer Filipino cuisine. So I think that started the whole trend, and then more and more Filipinos abroad are serving local Filipino food. So I noticed maybe since 3-4 years ago, that when tourists come, especially from the US or Europe, they already know some of the dishes and they even look for them. So hotels started to and restaurants started really offering Filipino food. Even in luxury resorts, you will see a very strong menu of Filipino favorites, which was not so much so in the past. There's really, especially here in Cebu, there is so much pride in our food, and we really take it personally, lechon and everything else. For me, Filipino food is again gaining popularity and becoming more mainstream. Hopefully, we can compete really with the cuisine of, yes, as you mentioned, Thailand, Singapore, because we have so much to offer, and with international chefs also learning our cuisine and doing their twists on it, it also helps to increase our popularity, especially with the Michelin restaurants we have now, with the advent of Michelin here. That really gives a big boost to our dining environment here in Cebu.
So if you will have a wish list, no? Or
Oh, I have a lot of wish lists.
areas to improve
Okay.
to improve Cebu's tourism ecosystem, no? What
Okay.
would this be?
There's still so much to improve. Of course, our infrastructure, traffic is a big issue still, although traffic is everywhere. But for a tourist who wants to go from one place to the other, especially that our tourist areas are quite far apart, the traffic really hits you because you're spending 3-4 hours on the road if you want to go to the provinces and back. So that's one, if that can be further improved, as well as ease for people to come with our visa rules. If it were easier and they feel more that we are really welcoming them in, that would be a good thing as well. But that's not really a DOT. We don't have our hands on that. Also, perhaps costs to operate. If we are able to manage, if the government is able to help us with the cost for utilities, fuel, and with the inflation, then we will be able to provide more rates that they always compare us to other destinations so we want to be able to compete with those rates, but for now it's difficult for us without really decimating our margins. So that's another thing. And then of course, I told you I have a lot of wish lists.
Okay, continue. Yes.
And of course, our linkages, our flights. The more flights we have into Cebu, the better for us.
And you've mentioned about infrastructure and traffic, and now I can confess that that's where I was coming from when I asked you about the number of days that they stay. Because in my view, a disclaimer, no, in my view, if infrastructure and traffic will not improve soon, so that would either curtail the number of places that they could have seen, because it would take them a day
It does.
to move from one area to the other, or they will largely they will miss the opportunity of actually for other locations also to leverage on the arrival, on a particular arrival.
Yes. You will have to depend on them coming back, which is a good thing. But of course, a lot of travelers want to cram
Maximize.
in and maximize a lot of activities or see a lot of sites during their first visit. But that's why it's a very big wish list for all of us for infrastructure to get better so that we can have less traffic on the roads on a daily basis.
Daily basis, not just during
Yes.
holidays. No?
But they also say the more traffic, it signifies that there is progress and there's a lot more visitors. But difficult.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, sige. Now let's talk about service, no? Because the Philippines for a very long time has been known for our hospitality trait, no, or our strength in hospitality. Is still that a differentiator globally as of this time?
I would say so because still the Philippines, of course, we speak very good English, and a lot of our hoteliers here have worked abroad, and they come home with wonderful skills. And really, hospitality is innate to us. Even if you are not, for Cebuanos at least, even if you are not really from hospitality, you have this innate need to show people around, to make them eat lechon, or to show them the beach. And we are so proud of our island. So I think that is already a big up for us. But I would also have to say other destinations in terms of service and even English have worked hard over the years and have very much caught up. So that's why I always say we cannot depend on just our innate warm smiles and hospitality, our nature. We have to continue to work hard at improving our skills, upskilling, and becoming more professional in our ability to serve in hotels as well as in dining and other destinations.
You kept on using the word innate, no? And I'm just reminded maybe it's because it's summer every day in the Philippines, so
True.
it's innate.
They always say in it. You know, no, I didn't get that. Took me a while.
No, it's a bad joke, I know.
Took me 10 seconds to get what you meant, like innate, yun. Bitaw. But actually, over the years, a lot of international tourists, especially those coming from cold climates, they always say, because it's innate here, that's why we are more happy.
Correct.
Even though, and there's always a smile on our faces, even though things are not as dandy as we wish they would be.
And last number, and it started as a joke, but I think that's also a good point, because I will not name the city in the world, but if people would ask me my impression about the city, I would always say it looks sad. But it's because that city also is a rainy city.
Yes, gloomy.
Gloomy. So that's why they would say, why would you say that the
Right.
city looks sad?
Yes.
But yes, I think that's a good point.
Because in summer, for us, it's summer more or less all year round. So we light clothes and it's hot, so you're always like this.
Like
No,
this.
the sun is good for us.
Sige, now let's talk about hospitality as a career. No? So if we have viewers who are watching and they wish to also be like you, so what would be your hacks or tips or advice that you can also give them?
You have to treat hospitality like a real profession. It's not something you do just for the job. You have to really enjoy it and like it, because the hours are long, and you're expected to be sunny and smiley even when you're not feeling, or you're not feeling up to it. That alone is difficult for many people. But if you do really enjoy it, yes, please. So start your job, start your career here, and then I know I shouldn't say go abroad and travel and experience the world, but that's what I did, and that's what most of us did. And that really helped us in our careers, building our skill and confidence, being able to see services and hotels all over the world. But then, of course, please come back and help the Philippines or Cebu become really world class. So just enjoy it and do your best all the time.
And by the way, there's something about you said that I was reminded also during the summit, because, and hopefully for say, everyday Cebuanos and Filipinos like me, we could also shift the mindset, because there was a takeaway there that whenever there's an airline with a direct flight
Yes.
to Cebu, the Filipinos, instead of, oh my gosh, this is more arrivals,
Yes,
it's like, I
yes,
can go there.
yes.
So we leave rather
It's more
than
outbound.
it's more outbound,
Yes,
no?
yes. There's a lot of destinations. Like, of course, for us, we want more flights. And then when there's a flight coming in from a particular destination,
Yes.
oh no, not that one, because that's all outbound. Everyone's going there.
Correct.
So we say that the domestic market is very much price sensitive, and we don't see them here. But actually, no. In my feed, everyone is in Vietnam, in China,
Yes.
in Japan,
Taiwan.
in Taiwan.
Mm.
So when I go to these destinations for work, the executives there tell me, "Oh, you know, Filipinos, there's so many here, and they spend so much." So
Which
great.
reminds me, I also don't want to put you on the spot, but what about some people making comments? I'm not sure if you've heard about this, that it's cheaper to go to other destinations
destinations.
compared to traveling within the Philippines.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes
sorry,
and
but
no.
okay, sige, okay.
Yes and no.
Ah.
Of course, there are destinations that are more, they are able to offer more lower prices, not just because they want to. It's not that we don't want to, but they have a lot more help there so that they are able to offer these prices. There's a lot of incentives coming from the government and a lot of
Subsidy, no?
subsidies and a lot
Assistance.
of incentives coming from private organizations as well that allow tour operators or other or airlines perhaps to offer lower rates. So it's not just the fact that we want to offer higher prices. Of course not.
Sige. And now, this one is on the space of possibilities now. What are the kanang possibilities or opportunities locally or globally which you think Cebu is still not fully leveraging, no?
I would still say mice is still a very big potential. We have been talking about it for maybe for over a year now and how excited we are. Although we have been discussing this for a while, it hasn't really happened yet because, of course, some of the venues have not fully opened. So this is still really for 2027 and going forward, especially for big mice events where you have to bid for them 3, 4, 5 years in advance. Okay, so of course the wellness market as well could be very big. We do have a lot of wellness offers. Tuob, Sugilig, we have Hilot, and those things can be really curated so that guests can actually enjoy the things that we used to enjoy ba when we were little, with all the tuob and all the. I don't know if you experienced that.
Although I heard a lot about that during the pandemic. That's kidding. Continue.
But they are
Okay.
wellness offers that we can really offer to international, and there would be a lot of interested guests for that.
Okay, those are experiences,
Yes,
no, that
yes.
are only found in the Philippines or in
Yes,
Cebu.
yes. If you present it really in the way that we used to experience it, of course there's some adjustments. But if
That's
you
good.
stay authentic to the experience, it could be very, very interesting because wellness is really with everything that we have experienced over the years, wellness has become a very important aspect of travel or of leisure travel, and still our food culture. There's still so much to offer. There's still a lot of things to improve for us in order for our local as well as international guests to really enjoy Cebu food and Cebu cuisine.
And then on the reverse, and I can already anticipate that this was already one of your wish. This was already included in one of your wish and in your wish list earlier. But just one thing lang, which you consider as a threat, that we are not paying as much attention to it as it should have.
What we are not.
It's a threat, gyud. Now you would say this is really a threat, but how come we are not really taking this threat this seriously?
It would really have to still be the infrastructure. We are still, as we all know, lagging behind our ASEAN neighbors. Internet speed is a big factor as well, especially for MICE or corporate bookings, international bookings, or even leisure, because everything is done online these days. So when guests come, they say, "Oh, the internet speed's so slow. I cannot make my bookings." So those are a few of the things that I think we should continue to focus on for better so that we can offer better services going forward. Technology is increasing everywhere else in the world, and I'm sure also here. But if we don't have the basic high-speed internet, then how can we do that?
So at least it's a balanced outlook, no? Because the Philippines, di ba, laging handa, but in technology and infrastructure, we're lagging behind. So
But you know the skill is here, right? And the technology is here.
correct. Yes. So, sige, now that we've talked about the threats, and then we are also talking about the possibilities plus the current state. So, this is now my last question.
Okay.
So, if we are to fast forward, sige, short term na lang, 5 years, no, from now, what would be the indicators by then, no, that we should be more mindful and say, oh, we're really going towards the right direction.
Okay.
5 years from now, when we look at things, it's like, oh, we're really headed towards the right direction.
If we have a steady market to really a variety of markets to enjoy, not just one or two, and that they are steady all throughout the year. I think we saw that
That's a good point.
pre-pandemic in
That's a good
2018, 2019. I remember when I came back from Thailand, I moved back to Cebu. Said, oh, there's it's not very seasonal anymore, because in the past we were very seasonal, and now we still are seasonal somehow.
And
But-
it's supposed to be summer all year round.
Yes,
no?
it's supposed to be summer all year round. But when I say more stable, it's mean like this market naturally will go up in this time, but will go down in this time. But when this market goes down, there has to be another market
Another
that comes
market.
in, whether it be domestic or international. So perhaps a more steady availability of tourists or guests from different baskets, as you easily say, and a strong supply of skilled workers as well.
True.
Because that could also be a difficult situation for us when we have tourists and we have hotels, but we don't have good skilled Filipino workers. As you know, Filipino workers are very, very popular abroad in cruise lines,
True.
and other international tourist areas. So we speak very good English. We work very hard. We can do the work of 2 or 3 other people.
We're resilient.
Yes, we
and
are
we
very
smile.
resilient. Yeah, so even if it wasn't a bad day, you will see a Filipino smiling. So we are very popular there. So I would, yes, I'm happy for them to go abroad and experience that. But I'm also hopeful that many of them, while they are strong and skilled, come home and work with us.
That's a good measure, no? So that means it's already a lucrative
Yes, it's their
industry to
confidence.
be part of.
Correct. The confidence of Filipinos coming home, skilled Filipinos coming home to Cebu to work here will signify that we are doing something good
Correct.
for the city.
Yeah,
for the
that's a
island.
good outlook. I never look at it that way, but that's a good one. And the other thing also, before we close, that you just said, and the reason why I was smiling, because in the IT BPM industry, there's a concept, no? That's why a lot of the people in the industry are working in the evening, because they follow the sun. But it's more of outbound following the sun. But when you said something about seasonal, it's also because it's winter in their
Yes,
season and they
yes.
come to the Philippines.
Yes.
So the Philippines is where the sun is.
All year round.
Diba? So if the sun is not showing in this part of the world, they should come to the
Cebu.
Philippines because the sun is here. Or
Correct,
or
correct.
Cebu for that matter.
With our sunny personality.
Correct. So I've got a lot of good takeaways today. So thank you
Thank
for
you so
making time
much.
for
Thank
this
you so
interview.
much.
And hopefully I get to visit you also in Crimson.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes, please. So happy Heroes Day to everyone.
Yes, so thank you for helping us looking beyond the headlines and understanding where Cebu tourism really stands and where it will be moving forward. Because behind every tourist is a business that earns, a worker who gets a job, a community that benefits, and an economy that moves. That's why understanding where Cebu tourism stands matter. So I'm DJ Moises. Thanks to Coffee First for supporting conversations such as today, and have a good weekend. It's a long weekend.
Have a good weekend, everyone. Thank you very much, DJ.
It starts with a fresh shot of espresso. Bold, rich, pulled just right. Then comes the milk, steamed smooth, creamy, and balanced. The perfect latte is not rushed. It is crafted, one cup at a time. Your perfect latte is ready. Coffee first, then everything else.